We're ready to go.
Biggest lines of the day. Lyrics for that 3 sentences. We'll have the updates on it. My dad told me it's technically the easiest part. Yeah, there's one of them. I would have it.
Please stand for the presentation of the colors.
Color guard, forward march. Color guard, halt. Color guard, post the colors. Color guard, you may be seated.
Cub Scouts Corey Davidson and Kenneth Kosako will present the flowers and the light.
Please recite the Pledge of Allegiance with us. Ready? Begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Now, Cub Scout Benji Higuchi will lead us in the Scout Oath.
Scout hand sign. Please recite with me the Scout Oath.
On my honor, I'll do my best to do my duty, to guide my country, and to obey the Scout law, to help other people at all times, keep myself physically strong, mentally awake, and morally straight. Cub Scout Maya Holly will lead us in the Scout Law.
Scout hand sign. Please join me in the Scout Law.
Scout is trustworthy, loyal, helpful, friendly, courteous, kind, obedient, cheerful, thrifty, brave, clean, and reverent. You may be seated. Good morning. You may be seated. Good morning. I am Emily Fujikawa.
And I'm Christine Hill. We are from Troop 180.
I'm Derek Diaz-Camilo, and this is Ned Lerner. We're both from Troop 18.
Today we are celebrating Scout Sunday. This celebration was started in the 1940s to recognize the anniversary of Scouting and Sir Baden Powell, the founder of Scouting. We also recognize Scout Sunday as a time to celebrate Scouting with our families and the members of the Makawao Honganji Buddhist Temple. Troop 180 Scoutmaster Sherry De Jesus will say a few words on the history of Scouting.
Good morning, everyone. Let me start by introducing you to Robert Stephen Smith Baden-Powell. He was a lieutenant general in the British Army, and he specialized in map making and reconnaissance, and soon began to train other soldiers in what were essential skills at that time. His method was considered unorthodox. He set up small units who worked together under a single leader and made sure there was special recognition for those who did well. In 1907, he decided to create an experimental camp for boys to test ideas for a book he was working on. 20 boys from different social backgrounds came and participated in the Brown Sea Island Scout Camp. There they learned skills in camping, observation, woodcraft, chivalry, life-saving, and patriotism. In the wake of a successful camp, Baden-Powell completed 6 books, and in 1908 he compiled and published them into one, the Legacy Edition of Scouting for Boys. It was an immediate hit and sold over 100 million copies, and it didn't take long to translate into 5 languages. As you might guess, Scout troops began to form worldwide. Not long later, an American businessman by the name of William D. Boyce was passing through London through his first expedition to Africa. You may have heard this tale as well. Boyce was helped across the street by a young boy who, when offered a tip, declined and told Boyce that he was merely doing his duty as a scout. Continuing on his journey, Boyce came across a copy of Scouting for Boys. He decided to return to London after his expedition to visit the Scout headquarters. There he volunteered to organize Scouting in America and was granted permission to use their manual. The Boy Scouts of America was incorporated on February 8, 1910. This is what we are celebrating today, 116 years of Scouting in America. It was also back in 1910 when Agnes Powell, Robert's younger sister, officially started Girl Guides. The Scouting movement had grown so quickly, and in 1909 there was a huge Scouting rally held at Crystal Palace, London. Among the thousands of Scouts at the rally were several hundred registered Girl Scouts. In those days, camping and hiking were not common activities for girls, and following some negative publicity, Robert Baden-Powell asked his sister Agnes to form a separate Girl Guide organization. Many Girl Guides and Girl Scout troops trace their roots back to this point. It did not take long for Scouting to make its way to Hawaii. The first troop was active in Honolulu by 1910. In 1911, Maui's first troop was organized by Reverend Father Francis Stephen of the Paia Roman Catholic Church. And in 1916, President Woodrow Wilson signed the Boy Scouts of America's Congressional Charter, which was unanimously approved. Over the years, the program evolved. In 1930, the Cub Scouts were added to the program. In 1935, Senior Scout programs were formed for boys 15 and older. Sea Scouts, Air Scouts, Explorer Scouts, and Rover Scouts. Those who aged out of Boy Scouts now had an avenue to continue their scouting adventures. Later in 1971, young women were finally allowed to join the Explorer Scouts, which in 1998 became known as the Venture Program. During World War II, Scouts in Maui patrolled beaches to watch for enemy soldiers. They collected materials that were important to the war effort and provided communication support by delivering messages, answering phones, and watching for visual signals. During this time, as many Japanese Americans were pulled from their homes and taken to internment camps, so were the Boy Scouts from their troops. What's remarkable is that Scout troops reorganized in all 10 of the Japanese internment camps. As you can imagine, it was difficult to rank up without proper equipment and facilities, but there are many stories of Scouts persevering. Scouts from the Hart Mountain Relocation Center in Wyoming made their own 150-foot wide by 300-foot long, 15 feet deep pool by hand. Troop 18 was originally chartered through Paia Honganji under Scoutmaster Lester Herman in the early 1950s. and eventually moved to Makawao, in 1980. I would also like to share a piece from the 1962 Maui News. There were approximately 25,000 Hawaiian geese in Hawaii when Captain Cook first arrived in 1978, but by 1960, the number of nene had reduced to only 30 birds. They were listed as highly endangered species. Maui Scouts helped carry these nene in cardboard boxes and hiked them into Haleakala as part of the Nene Goose Recovery Project. In 2019, there were some 3,200 nene in the wild, and the nene bird was downlisted from endangered to threatened. According to the latest survey that I could find, in 2022, there are 3,862 nene birds in existence in Hawaii today. So that's a success story. Just 8 years ago, Boy Scouts of America changed its name to Scouts BSA in preparation for the girls to officially join in 2019. This photo was taken in 2018 when adding the girls to the pack was still in test mode. Do you recognize these two? Our Cub Master at that time, Lauren Kosaka, always welcomed siblings to join their brothers in Cub Scout. Thank you, Lauren. Today, Scouting is the world's leading educational youth movement with over 60 million scouts, a historic high for the global movement encompassing youth and adult volunteers across 176 countries in the World Organization of the Scout Movement. Last year, I shared a list of scouts who became famous. This year, I'd like to focus on just two. The first you may have heard of, if not, meet Gitanjali Rao, an American inventor, author, social activist, and climate advocate. At 11 years old, Gitanjali engineered a device that won a national science competition and had a real-world impact. Tavies is a tool for early detection of lead in water. In 2015, she made the cover of Time magazine as Kid of the Year. Rao also developed an app called Kindly that uses AI to detect cyberbullying at an early stage and has partnered with UNICEF to roll out the service globally. Rao is now 20 and studying bioengineering at MIT. She's given hundreds of talks and workshops worldwide and authored several books. She's a product of the Scout STEM program. You can see the logo on her jacket there. And an amazing role model for youth worldwide. The next person I'd like to highlight is Seattle Seahawks tight end, number 81, Eric Sommer. Yes, this 2012 Eagle Scout earned his prestigious award rank in the Pathway to Adventure Council in his hometown of Hoffman Estates, Illinois, a suburb of Chicago. Saubert was active in his community and attributes his strong work ethic and team-oriented approach to his scouting foundation. The 6'5", 253-pound Seahawk also credits scouting with giving him a strong moral foundation, a supportive environment while playing football at scout camps. A few major colleges recruited Eric out of high school. He chose Drake University in Des Moines, Iowa, and went on to play professionally for the Atlanta Falcons and many other NFL teams before this season with the Seattle Seahawks. So even if you aren't cheering for Seattle today, let's give it up for Eric. It was only a year ago that BSA went through another name change, dropping the B from BSA, leaving it simply Scouting America, reflecting the organization's ongoing commitment to welcome every youth and family in to experience the benefits of the Scouting program. Today is a very exciting day as we welcome 6 more Arrow Light Scouts as they cross over for Pack 18 to Troop 18 and Troop 1A. I hope you'll stay and join us for the crossover ceremony after service. Scouts, we would not be here if it were not for our parents, grandparents, and our ancestors before them. So please find some time to thank your makua, your kupuna, Reverend Carey, and the members of this temple. To all of our volunteers and supporters of Scouting, mahalo nui loa.
Thank you. Everyone, please stand as Reverend Kiyohara will lead us in meditation, bandana tea ceremony.
Namo tassa the supremely awakened one. Buddha Saranam Gacchami, Dhammam Saranam Gacchami, Sangham Saranam Gacchami. I go to the Buddha for guidance. I go to the Dharma for guidance. I go to the Sangha for guidance. Namo Amida Butsu.
You may be seated. We will now chant the Sutra Gaccha Litania. The words of this sutra are located on the screen.
Namo Amida Butsu. I recite Amida's name with deep joy and gratitude. I
Let's sit together quietly for a few moments. So just relax and get comfortable. If you're able, sit forward in your seat and place both feet flat on the ground. Now sit up straight and align your head, neck, shoulders, and back in a straight line that goes down to the floor. Place your hands comfortably in your lap. Now close your eyes and just breathe. Breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in and breathe out. As you breathe in, you feel energy filling your body. And as you breathe out, any stress or worries in your mind just fade away. Just breathe. The sound of the gong will signal the end of our quiet meditation.
We will now have an offering of incense and offertory.
Please stand as we all recite the Golden Chain of Love. Let us begin. I am a universe golden chain of love that stretches around the world. I must keep my link bright and strong. I will try to be kind and gentle to every living thing and protect all who are weaker than myself. I will try to think pure and beautiful thoughts, to say pure and beautiful words, and to do pure and beautiful deeds. Knowing that what I do now depends not only on my happiness or unhappiness, but also that of others. May every link in this golden chain of love be bright and strong. May we all attain perfect peace. Amen.
You may be seated. It is our great pleasure to welcome Mr. John Torrance. Mr. Torrance grew up in the 1970s, Southern California. He joined the Boy Scouts on his 11th birthday. He earned the rank of an Eagle Scout and participated in a wide variety of high adventure rank activities. He stayed with the troop until he turned 18, at which time he became an assistant scoutmaster. Please join me in welcoming Mr. John Torrance.
Thank you, Emily. Thank you, Reverend Carey, for having me today. As a young boy, I remember Sunday evenings, the older kids would come back from their scout trips, telling about the great stories of camping and fishing and hiking. I just so wanted to be out there doing those fun things. So I couldn't wait until exactly on my 11th birthday, because that was the moment I could do it, to join the Boy Scouts. I loved my activities. I loved participating. I loved being part of a world where I could go out into the outdoor world, and I was learning these life skills and participating and seeing what the real world was like. And it was an adventure. It was fun to be with my friends. We got to see things that the other kids in my class didn't ever get to experience. But it turns out scouting is so much more than just that adventure. Sneaking into the program, the scouting program actually taught us communication, teamwork, leadership, morality, values that are really important in today's world, but somehow sneak past a whole lot of people growing up. So I'm very indebted to the scouting program for what it has done for me. When I look back, I can say I am the person I am because of the scouting program. I remember the scoutmasters, the counselors, the many people who donated their time so that I could have those adventures. As we matured in the Scouts as young people, we were given the opportunity to help plan our own trips. And again, I appreciate that we weren't just handed an agenda. We were told we needed to help be part of the planning process. We needed to figure out how we're going to make this happen. As many responsibilities as we could have, the adults were quick to give them to us. Again, these are life lessons that are not often taught. Today, there are a lot of youth programs out there. But when I see the scouting program, I see something that has worked for over 100 years, as Sherry has mentioned to us. And now I can look back in retrospect and say that it has made me who I am. When I encounter an opportunity today, whether I see a homeless person or have the opportunity to volunteer to become part of something, my decision is based on that lifetime of experience. And it started with the Scouts. So when we sponsor the Scouts today, we're not just sponsoring some great activities. We're changing 2 or 3 generations to come. The future of our society depends on that kind of connectivity. I applaud the members of this church for being such great sponsors for such a long time and having one of the best troops that I've ever seen, 2 of the best troops now. But I'd also like to address the Scouts directly, if I may. It's a lot of fun to be in the Scouts. You have camaraderie, you have your friends, you have fun activities. You've also got this opportunity to progress through the ranks. And it seems pretty basic. I remember there's about 7, from Scout to Tenderfoot to second class to first class to Star to Life to Eagle. It seems like there's a natural order. But much like life, each one becomes a little more difficult, more time-consuming, requires more resources. And as they become more difficult, it's coming as you're getting older. And you have other things pulling at you. Most of us, as we approach that final push towards becoming an Eagle Scout, it was right as we were in high school and we had other activities, all of which demanded our time. And we had to make choices. Do we just do athletics? Do we just do scholarship? Do we find the extra time to finish our projects, to get our merit badges, to do these things? I grew up in the era of the space shuttle, or not the space shuttle, the Apollo program, where we were trying desperately to put a man on the moon. It was a project that was so incredibly difficult. No one on Earth had ever taken on a project like that. All of the original astronauts were Eagle Scouts. That is not a coincidence, because Eagle Scouts are the people who prove that given an incredibly difficult task that will take a long time and require a lot of sacrifice, we'll see it through no matter what they have to do. Your time in the Scouts is valuable no matter how far you progress. You will remember your scouting days forever. You can say to your grandchildren, I was a first-class scout, and that's a wonderful thing. But when you're an Eagle Scout, you are always an Eagle Scout. There are no former Eagle Scouts. And if you choose to take on that challenge for the rest of your life, the first line on your resume will be, I am an Eagle Scout. And in that one line, you have told the world that I can take on hard tasks and I can accomplish them. And the world wants you to be part of their team. So I invite you to be part of that challenge. Not everyone will make it, but do the best you can, as it says in the Scout Oath. I applaud your efforts, enjoy your time in the Scouts, and I thank you for having me today.
Thank you, Mr. Torres. Next, we would like to invite Reverend Kiyohara to say a few words.
Aloha mai kako. Good morning and aloha for everyone. Every year on Scout Sunday, I share my father's Boy Scout uniform shirt and the card from the National Council of the Boy Scouts of America, dated November 30th, 1944, certifying my father was a Boy Scout in good standing. So having sworn the Boy Scout oath to do my duty to God and country, the National Council of the Boy Scouts of America certified my father as a Boy Scout in good standing, even though he was locked up in an internment camp, quote unquote, in an internment camp in the middle of the Arizona desert. So if you look very carefully on the shoulder patch, you see it says Poston, okay, which refers to the Poston war relocation camp during World War II. So my father was in high school. He actually graduated high school in an internment camp. He was an American citizen. He was born in the state of California. And he's, oops, I just lost the connection. That's not good. There we go. Okay, and so, right, as an American citizen, actually and his parents and my grandparents as legal immigrants were protected by the Bill of Rights and the Constitution of the United States of America. And yet, my father, right, and my grandparents, or his parents, or my uncles and aunties, they were forced out of home to be relocated, forcibly. They didn't have a choice, and illegally incarcerated in an internment camp because he was the son of legal immigrants. Now, my father, my American citizen father was incarcerated simply because he was Japanese ancestry. So my dad and myself, growing up in Los Angeles, we were Japs, we were Nibs, we were the enemy, simply by virtue of genetics. How does that work? And then, 10 years later, right, after forcibly being relocated to an internment camp, my dad was drafted and served honorably in the U.S. Army during the Korean War because he was an American citizen. American citizens, you are obligated to serve when called. So my dad, could have been angry. Maybe he should have been angry. He could have been angry and bitter about his experiences early in life. But he never was. My dad chose to be cheerful. So he only told us stories about playing baseball, swimming. So the construction of the swimming pool story that Sherry shared is very true. He talked about they built a swimming pool in the middle of the Arizona desert. Poston, by the way, didn't have barbed wires. And you could just walk off the camp if you wanted to. But for 500 miles in every direction was just Arizona desert, so you weren't going to make it. So he talked about, fishing and playing baseball, baseball, and having fun at camp. So for me, growing up, camp sounded like a pretty cool thing. And it wasn't until much later that I learned what a grave injustice had been, my parents had gone through.
So my father goes on to serve as a Cubmaster, a Scoutmaster, Temple Board President, advisor, and elder at a Japanese-American Buddhist temple in South Central Los Angeles, which was located in a Black and Mexican neighborhood. It's one of the few places where Japs, so Japanese-Americans, could live after the war. There was just not that many places where you were allowed to live. So at his funeral, my father was most remembered for having a friendly smile and kind words for everyone he met. A Scout is cheerful. A Scout is cheerful. So Buddhism teaches that our thoughts and words and actions have consequences for ourselves and for other people in this life, and also infinitely into the future. So everything you think, say, and do is going to have impacts into the future, beyond the future you can even consider. So I'm forever grateful to my father for being a good Scout, being a true American, and by teaching us, by his example, to be cheerful, to do a good deed daily, and most importantly, to be prepared for anything that life might throw at us. So what you're learning now in Scouts will remain with you for the rest of your life. And so I encourage you all to enjoy to the fullest each moment of the brief time that you get to spend in Scouting when you get there. So think of this. This is a story I like to tell. So my father was a Life Scout. I was a Life Scout. My older brother was a Life Scout. So when our son becomes, of scouting age, he's like, I'm going to become the first Eagle in the family. And so he did. He actually qualified for Eagle before his 14th birthday, which I think 14 is the cutoff line, or at least at the time. You have to be a certain age to become Eagle. You can see all of his merit badge stuff. And also, you may or may not have seen a Far East Council patch. So he was actually, in the Boy Scouts in Japan for his entire Boy Scout career. So military bases, they allow us to be, on things there. He has a Japanese interpretership, and he also has an Espanol, Spanish interpretership. So just kind of, reflecting an interesting background. But just to say, whether you choose or not choose to become an Eagle Scout, all of these things, that's 4 generations of Scouts in the Kiyohara family. It's remarkable. And also, I always like to embarrass my wife by saying she's aboard of the Arrow, silver beaver or something, and wood badge and all kinds of crazy stuff. And I would say she should be wearing her sash thing with a little pin. I also have an Eagle Scout father type in somewhere, which I need to pull out. But just to say, right now, just like you don't think about it too much, but 60 years from now, you'll look back in reflection as this is one of the things that forms the foundation of who you are, as John shared. So on behalf of the Makawao Honganji Mission, the Buddhist temple, mahalo nui loa to all of you Scouts, to the leaders, they're volunteers, by the way, and for the parents and families for supporting us that made PAC 18, Troop 18, and Troop 180, an integral and very special part of the Makawao Honganji Sangha, the ohana that makes this Buddhist temple a Buddhist temple. So on behalf of the Sangha, the temple community, I would like to express our profound appreciation to you for your constant support of Makawao Honganji. So mahalo nui loa for listening this morning, and may your day be filled with aloha. Thank you. Long.
Thank you, very good. At this time, we would like to recognize the hardworking adult leaders for the PAC and the troops. Please stand as your name is called.
From PAC 18, Cubmaster Sean Higuchi. Incumbent Cubmaster and then leader for Lion, Rick Collins. Then leader for Tigers, Ann Collins. Then leader for Wolves and Bears, David Osborne. Then leader for Webelos, Lucas and Zora Meyer. Then leader for Arrow of Light, Cheryl Leong. PAC Committee Chair, Carissa Hawley. Incumbent Committee Chair, Hannah Mounts. PAC Treasurer, Maria Bewley. PAC Check Writers, Rick Collins and Zora Meyer. PAC Advancement Chair, Carly Higuchi. Fundraising Chair, Hannah Mounts. Pinewood Derby Chairs, Mike and Cheryl Leon. Incumbent Pinewood Derby Chairs, John and Jade Moreno. And finally, Uniform Chair, Megan Kosaka.
On Troop 180, Troop Master Sherry De Jesus. Assistant Troop Master Megan Kosaka. Assistant Troop Master Ronan Dagbek Andaya. Assistant Troop Master Craig Amaral. Troop Committee Chair Jimmy Kaobo Hanahano. Charter Liaison Deb Escalito. Treasurer Rhonda Tangon. Advancement Chair Gina Antonio. Training Chair and District Rep Ken Escalito.
From Troop 18, Scoutmaster Lauren Kosaka. Assistant Scoutmasters Glenn Kitagawa, Ken Yakudo, and Greg Amaral. Troop Committee Chair Kathy Suzuki Kitagawa. Secretary Kyle Nishimitsu. Treasurer Maria Bewley. And Advancement Chair Melissa Ramos. Without our adult leaders, our scouting program will not be the great organization it is today. Please give them a round of applause.
Please stand for our gatha.
Please remain standing as we recite the Shinshu Pledge followed by the Nembutsu.
I take my refuge in the vow of the Buddha, reciting the sacred name of Buddha with life, with strength, and serenity. I draw near to the light of the Buddha. I will put my effort and my work into self-reflection and gratitude. I follow the teachings of the Buddha. Discerning my path, I will spread the true knowledge. I rejoice in the compassion of the Buddha. I will respect and help others and do my best to the welfare of humankind. Amen.
Embraced by Namu Amida Butsu, I vowed never to complain. Thinking thus, again, I complained. The wisdom of Mrs. Haru Matsuda, who lived 1892 to 1974. She was an Issei pioneer who lived in Kona, Hawaii. Namu Amida Butsu.
Please remain standing while the Scouts retire to colors. Scouts, please retire to colors. You may be seated. Thank you very much for today to Scout Sunday Service. Thank you, Mr. Torrance, for sharing your scouting experience with us. And thank you to Reverend Kuhara for leading our service.
We would like to send a special thank you to Makawao Buddhist Temple for being our sponsor for all these years. Your support is truly appreciated. Before we close our program, we would like to ask if there are any announcements.
Yes, I have one. Should be this one. Okay, so for any scouts who would be interested in the META program, which is for the Cub Scouts, and the Sangha program, Sangha award program, which is for scouts. These are religious awards certified by the national organizations. I'm a what do they call it, a certified instructor to do this. So it's basically about 10 hours to do the META program for Cub Scouts, basic Buddhism. For the Sangha award, it's 72 hours, which is like coming to church every Sunday for 2 years. So. But we'll figure it out. If you're interested in Buddhism, please let me know. I'm planning to do it on the first and third Sundays, which is when we have Dharma school. So after service, after Dharma school, say from about 10:30 or 11 for at least 1 hour. But you also get extra credit if you come to service, because that's important. So anyway, if you're interested, please let me know. Thank you.
Okay, one more couple quick announcements. First, I would like to recognize a couple of people who are here this morning that we may not know. First, our district chairman, Ms. Ellen Laux, is sitting with us today. Welcome her. Also, I guess from the district committee, Will Bailey is here sitting with us. Thank you. And in case you aren't aware, the district annual awards luncheon is going to be happening on February 22nd. I think there's an invite that went out. Anyone can come. However, and some of the awards have not been announced yet, but some of them we already know, and several of them are at least Makawao Honganji adjacent. So the Imua Award is given to a person or organization that is a strong supporter of Scouting, regardless of Scouting registration. So among the adjacent people is Megan Nakashima and Pukwani Siparet is receiving the Imua Award. I don't know if you guys know. While Megan never was a scout, both her brother was a member of Troop 18 and her father Eric was the scoutmaster at one point of Troop 18. So there's strong connection there. Also, our own Kathy Kitagawa, the committee chairman for Troop 18, is being awarded the Imua Award as well. Chief. She's that way somewhere on the East Coast, so she's not with us. And this year's Scoutmaster of the Year is our own Sherry De Jesus. So if you're able to make it to that, please come. If not, then we'll congratulate you now. Thank you.
Once again, we would like to thank you for attending today's Scout Sunday service and for your continued support of PAC 18, Troop 180, and Troop 18. Please join the Scouts and their families in the social hall for the Blue and Gold banquet. Thank you.